Hi guys, Mark here, Celtic Crossbows. Instead of doing something new in Flash, we're gonna go old school today. And for some of you who've not seen one, we got my original Steambow Stinger one. And we're gonna be fitting the custom tuning trigger. So you think, it's a straightforward job. It's not. There's a lot of crooks in the corners to make it fit a Stinger one. They've notoriously bad trigger design, incredibly sturdy, and nowhere near as good a fit as the new Steambows today. But nonetheless, I'm going to show you how to fit it and the modifications you need to do to fit the custom tuning trigger in your Stinger one. Okay, let's have at it. Okay, to strip it, all you're going to need is 3 basic tools: a posi drive screwdriver, a hammer and a drift. Take your scales off on the front as normal. There's nothing new there to anybody else. When you come to removing the pin for the trigger, it must be drifted out from the left to the right. The reason being is the right hand side is bigger than the left hand side. It will only drift the one way. So just use your punch, line it up over the hole on the trigger blade, on the pivot, and punch it through. So that's the first thing done, and that's easy. That's the easy bit over. Might take a couple of good hard taps, little toffee hammer onto it, because these are well driven in. So once you've got it out, then you need to fit your blade. Now if I show you here on camera, and I'll take a photograph and add it as well, you look down in here just about, try and get it in, put some light on the subject. You can see I put a nut down the side because there's so much play in the blade and the gap is so big. I'll show you on the rising post here. Look at that. That it doesn't sit properly in there. So the first modification, find about a 2mm, maybe a 2mm nut or a washer to put in down the side to hold it in place. You can put a 1.5mm either side if you want. Doesn't make no difference. I just put a 2mm nut straight down the side. Now, for this next bit, you're going to need either a drill or a nut. Sorry, a drill or a okay, now for the next bit, fitting the blade is easy. Like I said, you just drop a nut or a washer down the side, either side of it, to fatten out the trigger so it fits nice. So when the trigger goes in, here's our tuning kit. You quite simply put a washer on one side or the other and use a splurge of Vaseline or bowstring wax to hold the washer to the nut, so when it drops down in and you put your spring on, it holds it in place. There's other videos on this further back on how to fit the tuning kit. This is specifically for the Cobra. When you come to fit in this, like I said, it flops around like a dick in a shirt sleeve. What you need to do, I think show you on here how wobbly that is in here. Raise it up, as you can see again. You raise me up. Right, so you can see how wobbly that is. Just drill a hole through it. If you haven't got a drill, you can just heat your nut up, your bolt up on a gas stove and literally push your bolt through. I would say somewhere near the centre line, around about here, to push your bolt through. Don't worry about the length of it because you're going to be cutting it off afterwards. So once your bolt is pushed through, give yourself roughly 3mm, about there, to extend. And I would say put a nylon washer or a stainless washer, hasn't got to be nylon, down either side. There's no stress on it, it's just to stabilise it in the breech. So I'll show you again. So if that's up like that, you can see that wobbles around So you just want it to sit either side of this blade, excuse me, to stabilise it. Okay, and for those of you who don't like doing things the elegant way, who haven't got the tools to do it, there is the butchery way, and this is the way I've done it. Because my house is upside down at the moment, if you see my video about the trouble I had with the shed collapsing, I opted to do it the butcher's route, and I quite literally melted a nut, a screw, into the riser block, filed it on the back, filed the head down flush. So now when it goes in, I put the screw on the side where the washer will go, because it'll line the teeth up. So now she goes in, nice, and there we are, look at that now, she's a nice snug fit, no movement at all, just turn the light on. Since she's in there now, she's a nice snug fit, and the blade will go in. It'll be a nice tight setup, well not tight but snug and not flopping around like it was before. So I'm going to put it together now and show you. Get your string wax and just give everything a good dose of wax, grease, that's essentially what it is, all over everything. So everything running nice and smooth. So grease your front, grease your back, grease your side. Same with your trigger blade. This is the side the washer is going to go on. So we get some grease on there. As the nut now sticks to it for when you put it in. Some of you saying, what a load of faff, messing around. Why not just use one of the 3D printed triggers, like from Danny or Spray Paint? I swear by his, use one of Danny's. They will not work in a Cobra, or at least they not work good enough for me. When they go in, let's see if we can find the other part of the sear. Without the extra probe on the front, which the Steambow trigger has in the Cobra or Stinger 1, it doesn't get the fit I like and the tension on the spring in the Cobra. Works perfectly in the Alligator 2, that's what it's designed for. This one is what it's designed for, is the Alligator 2, OP360, Yak Terminator 3, Bear Desire XL. But it does not work in a Cobra. So in the Cobra, fitting your washer on the same side as your riser block is going to be. So I bring this around the camera. So your washer is going to be there, and your adjustment is going to be there. And this will now fit snug into our Mark 1 Stinger. Okay then, here we are. Let's lock it back up. Don't forget, when you put it back together, your 4 large screws go in the front, your 2 small screws in the rear. Now let's have a look now at our new improved trigger. So operation now. Eyes working great. You will have forwards wobble, that doesn't mean nothing. You can, if you want, put a screw at the back, but it doesn't make no difference because the pressure when it pushes up is on the front. But more importantly, when we look inside now, we've got our washer down the one side for the trigger, so you no longer got sideways play in the trigger, and when the riser block comes up, consistent, is no longer left to right wobble. Like I said, you can, if you wish, put a screw in through the back. I personally don't think it's worth it, because when the trigger is coming up, so the pressure is pushing down on there from the string, is not gonna jump out. I think is absolutely adequate as it is. You can do it if you want. I don't think it's necessary. Okay guys, so all that's left now is put the magazine back on, and the Stinger 1 is back in action. So here we are then guys, just the limb to fit, and your Mark 1 Stinger is once again ready to rock and roll with this improved trigger. and a worthwhile update or upgrade for this now old crossbow. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy it, click like, subscribe and share the word. Thanks and bye bye.